Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Locktivity, and I am taking a moment here as we get to the end of the year to really reflect on what's been happening in third-party risk over the last couple of years and where I see it taking us in the near future here. Always good to think as we enter a new year, what are we going to do? So, what I'm going to go through are the top 10 trends in third-party risk that are top of mind for me, those that I'm paying attention to. So, let's start with number one. Breaches are on the rise. Third-party related breaches have doubled in the last year. That's wild. Nearly one in three breaches involves a third party. And when we do surveys, we see anywhere from 60 to 80% of companies saying they have had their third parties breached in the last year, at least one of them. And we're seeing that in a survey that we're running right now. Results are not all in yet, but as it's trending, we're seeing over 80% are saying that they have had one or more third parties breached. And interestingly, though, we always have to look at stats and what do these things mean and ask some questions. I can't answer all of the questions, but what I can tell you is significantly fewer companies are telling us that they were actually impacted by those third party breaches. Still significant numbers, but that's an important thing to understand. We can actually use third parties in ways that doesn't mean that when they get breached, it has a direct impact in a way that is significant for us. I always wonder when we say involves a third party breach, or sorry, it involves a third party when there's a breach. I think of things like, say, the Snowflake accounts that were hacked. When we saw a lot of breaches in the news around Snowflake customers, it came down to that they didn't have 2FA enabled on their accounts. So I think we always have to ask questions when we see statistics. We always have to ask, what can we do about this? And it's not just that we're beholden to our third parties that are getting breached. But I will say that what we do need to take away from this is if we look at the headlines in the news, even the biggest and the best companies that have investments in security, they have security teams, they have every one of those different industry standards and regulations met and audits all over the place. They're making the news. Talking that, Salesforce, Google, Cisco, Zscaler, so many companies' names in the news. What it means is that we're all vulnerable. And so when we are vulnerable, we can't expect that our third parties aren't. So third party breaches are going to be with us.